It's Friday, folks, and that means it is time to get back into our classic tabletop RPG series, going out into space with Classic Traveler. We've been doing this now for almost 40 videos, and I'm a little sad. I'm a little sad because, well, it's as they say, folks.
All that you know is at an end.
We're at the tail end of this now. We are at the tail end of this series, and you feel a little melancholy about it because this is something that has now been a part of your life. You know, if you've been doing something for so long and now all of a sudden, it's gotta go. It's gotta go. We gotta go in new directions, folks. And the new direction that we're gonna go into is with Dark Conspiracy, which, by the way, happens to be made by the same company. And that's something. So we're gonna get into that after this, and I'm not counting the mini adventure for Traveler that we're already working on and producing. I'm not counting that. That'll come kind of like it's a separate own entity, even though it is technically a part of the series, but that'll be later on down the line. That's not actually a part of the deep dive. It's just a wrap-up video so you can see all that stuff at work. A little sad, but a little happy to be going into something else also, something new. Well, folks, thanks for coming by. I am your host, Servant of Shiloh, here on RPG Elite, the place where I put the RP back in the RPG, giving you tools, tips, tutorials, and real talk about the tabletop RPG space and culture. We are getting back into Classic Traveler combat. So today is a tutorial. We're gonna do the second half of these. Well, actually, it would be the first half of the actual attack of the space thugs against our PCs. Even though I'm saddened that this is at an end, I have an idea. Man, I have an idea, and I think you're gonna like this idea, but I'll throw it at you on the other side. Let's get into this, y'all, and roll them. All right, so here we are back on the battlefield, and if you had seen the last video, you know that the space thugs got the drop on our heroes, and so they have surprise, and so they are going to get a free attack. Now, the thing to remember in Classic Traveler is this: once you roll for initiative for each side, you do that one time, and that is what it's going to be for the rest of the battle. So you don't roll every round. You have to deal with the hand that you have been dealt by Providence. So since they have the drop on the PC group here, they're going to get this free attack. Now, an alternative method, if you want to add a little flavor to your initiative rolls, is that you can add the highest dexterity modifier from the group to your initiative roll. That's, again, homebrew. If you want to add a little flavor, give yourself a little breathing room and a little bit of hope, because combat in Traveler can be brutal. And we're going to see how this pans out for this surprise attack from the space thugs. In order to make a successful attack in Classic Traveler, you have to roll an 8+ with 2d6. This is subject to all applicable DMs. And when you're first setting up an encounter, you'll need to determine these DMs from really 3 major factors, though there are going to be more. But when it comes to the actual combat, it's going to be range, weapon, and armor. Now, on top of that are some other things that we'll talk about and add in there, like weapon skill, dexterity, and strength bonuses and things like that, cover, concealment, all those things. But the ones that you're going to look at immediately are going to be those 3 I just mentioned: range, weapon, and armor. This is done on the weapons and range matrix. So let's go ahead and pull that up here. So here's the weapons and range matrix. So let's go through this so you get the gist of everything here. On the left-hand side here, you have the attacker's weapon. You just find the weapon down on the column here. But at the top here, across the top, you have the different kinds of armor. And these here are going to be the die modifiers depending on the weapon and the armor that the defender is wearing. So you got your jack, mesh, cloth, and so forth. Next will be the range. So let's go ahead and let's look at ranges real quick. So you have here at the top your close, short, medium, long, and very long ranges. And what that means here is that close would be it's in physical contact. And if you're doing something like Foundry, then it means to be right up on it. But I'll show you something really cool that 2D6 system does. I think it's fantastic. Next would be short. So at sword or pole arm point, 1 to 5 meters. Now 5 meters, folks, like 15 feet or a little bit more. So actually, you can't be 15 feet away from somebody and try to hit him with a sword unless you're going to throw it at him, and it probably wouldn't work. So you need to be, depending on the weapon, you need to use some common sense here in terms of how far you need to be away from them. So if you're using a sword, you probably can be within a meter or two and use it, you know, stepping back and forth and doing that. Medium is at pistol range. So it's going to be anywhere from 6 to 5 meters. So short range is also for things that you throw. So you can throw something at 15 feet. You can throw a rock, you can throw a knife, you know, those kind of things will be here. Long range is at rifle range. It's going to be anywhere from 51 to 250 meters. And very long is at extreme range is 251 to 500 meters. So when you're looking at this, you're going to need to measure out. If you're live, you're going to measure out how far you are away from your target. However, when you're doing something again, like something like this VTT and 2D6, you don't even have to worry about that because that is baked in. And I'll show you, I'll show you guys that in a second. Over here is the wound inflicted. You're not going to be worried about this either if you're doing a VTT because that already will be done for you. But if you're playing live, then here is the damage that the weapon will do. All right, so let's start with our first attack. It's going to be Space Thug number 1 here. He is going to be attacking Drago. So the first thing we need to do is target Drago. And we're going to double click here. And he is a straight melee guy. Straight melee. He's going to attack with his sword. So let's click that and see what happens. We got our pop-up box here. Let's go through this real quick. It's going to automatically populate this with the average 8+, so you don't mess with that really. The skill level is going to be added also if there is a skill level. The weapon range. Now this is what's kind of cool. The weapon range automatically gets added too. Now this is an automatic kind of default -2. That's not what it is, and we're getting ready to find out what we actually have to put in there for range. Also, this isn't really close range. He's not really in close range. Let's go ahead and look at the weapon ranges here. So right here, you have your ranges. So in close physical contact, touching, but that's not what he is because he draws his sword, he goes up and he's going to slash him across the back, right? At sword or polearm point, that is short range. It's from 1 to 5 meters. And that is what range he's in. Now, there is a setting within the 2D6 system that you can change and it'll just tell you the meters. And if you know off the top of the mind that short range is 1 to 5 meters and medium is at 6 to 50 and so forth, then you can automatically just say, okay, that's medium range, that's short range. But for this, I wanted to use this because for the most part, it'll calculate all the rest of them correctly. So in order to figure out exactly what the weapon range modifier is, we're going to have to pull up that weapons and range matrix, and then we have to look at sword. Now, all of the PCs have cloth armor. They bought cloth armor. So you have to go across here and let's look at cloth armor. Looks like cloth armor is going to give a -3 DM, but we're not done yet because we have to look at the range. And the range for the sword is a +1 at short range. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a 1 here for the range, but we're going to put a custom DM down at the bottom here for -3. So let's see what happens here. Swing and a miss. Roll to 7. Had your -2, so you actually had a 5. So Swing and a miss for Space Thug number 1. All right, next on the list is Space Thug number 2 over here, and he is going to be attacking Sab. Let's go ahead and target him. Let's see what he's got. He's got a revolver that he's attacking him with. And it looks like he's in short range here. Again, that default right there, that's not correct. So we're going to have to look at the table, go over to revolver, and see what we got. So our custom DM here looks like it's going to be another -3, but we are at short range, and that means that it's going to be a +2. That is good for a revolver. Okay, so let's go ahead and put a 2 in there. The custom DM is going to be a -3. And that's going to be it, folks. And all we have to do at that point is roll them. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss again. Oh, yeah. What a shot has been fired. So there is no more surprise after this round, right? Y'all know that. Okay. Let's go to our next attack. Going back to our combat tracker here. Going to Space Thug number 3. And he's going to be targeting Vicente right here. We'll put that target on him. Let's see what he has. It looks like he's got a revolver too. All right, let's hit this. He's in short range, so we automatically know. We don't have to go back to the table. We automatically know it's going to be a 2 and a -3 there. All right, and we're going to roll him.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
Not a good day. Not a good day for these Space Thugs. They're horrible. They got an IQ of like 5. No, they actually have average IQs. It's just not working for them. It's just not working for them at the moment. Now, here's something that you can do and actually keep track of all of your ammo. And I'm just going to do this as an example. But you click this refill right here. Down here, it's going to tell you he has a revolver. And once you roll, and it should have did this when I rolled earlier. But once you roll, and let's say we're going to roll again. I'm not going to use this, but this is just for example. I'm going to put that -3 in there. I'm going to roll. Now this time he dealt some damage, but again, we're not using that one. And you guys see exactly what it's going to look like when you roll damage. But anyway, it will automatically take away the ammo for you. And then it's going to tell you when to reload. Now that is rather cool. However, we're going to take that off like that. And we're going to actually delete this because you actually missed. And we're going to go on to the last Space Thug for their attack. Well, so far, these Space Thugs can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Man, my life sucks! I understand that. You're making it worse!
I mean, come on now. Everybody's in short range. They should have hit something, but the armor is helping our PCs. Really is. In classic Traveler. Let's go ahead and do our last attack. So the last attack is Space Thug number 4. We're going to attack Sam over here. So we're going to target Sam. Then we're going to double click over here. And he has a rifle. He has a rifle. Let's look and see what we have here. Now we are at medium range here, so we're going to have to take a look at our weapons and armor for a rifle here. And again, it's at a -3. That cloth armor is off the chain, isn't it? They got a lot of minuses in here. Dang. Another -3 for the rifle. Medium range means that there's no modifier whatsoever. 0. Basically, he's going to get a -3 to hit. This is not working out so well. All right, so with the rifle and the -3, it's going to be a total of a -2. And let's see if he might roll high, man. You never know. So let's see what happens.
Well, that sucks.
but not today. Not today. It's a swing and a miss, folks, with the rifle. You rolled a, let me see, you rolled a 6, you know, and a 6 with the -2, not even anywhere close. But now the PCs are alerted and now they get to get their combat on. Yes, having good armor helps. It helps a whole lot. And also rolling pretty bad. that helps a whole lot too. All 4 times. Yeah. Yeah, they're having a bad day, aren't they? Now I have an idea. Even though we're coming to the end of this series, I have an idea. You see, I like 2d6's system, and it really doesn't help you in terms of Classic Traveler, but it has some things that you can just kind of skip through some things, put some things in, take them out, and do Classic Traveler in a pinch. However, they don't really have anything for Classic Traveler. How many people are going to be playing Classic Traveler? You might be watching the series going, man, I'm getting an itch to play some Classic Traveler. And maybe the people in your area don't want to play, or maybe you can't find anyone. So my idea was this: what if I created a system in Foundry using the 2d6 system where you would have all of the gear, all of the weapons, all of the vehicles, all of the ships, and they would just be all there for you, and all you would just have to do is fire it up and play Classic Traveler. It's an idea. I'm working on it. And you have to let me know down in the comments if that's something that you would like to see. Hey, if you got any value out of this video today, then do a brother a solid, could you please, and crush the like button. Also, every time I do that now, I can't, I'll try it. I'm gonna try to get through it. Also, if you wanna stick around, I come out with videos every Tuesday and Friday, God willing. So if you want to, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. All right, well, it is time to get to the question of the vid. The question of the vid is, what type of combat do you like? Do you like the crunchy kind with every single detail and all that stuff laid out on maps and the whole 9 yards? Or do you like something quick, fast, you know, just a quick narrative description of what just happened? Or do you like something like kind of like in between? You know, you need to know positions, you need to know everything, but you don't want to get too bogged down to it. You want some of that narrative to flavor it up. What type of combat do you like? Let me know down in the comments. Let's get some engagement going on this video for the couple hundred of you who watch this. And that is going to do it for me, folks. I have to get out of here. So much stuff to do. Oh, you don't understand the work that is involved in putting this stuff together. But I do love it, not gonna lie. So until next time, God willing, I'm gonna have to do my snaggle push.
So exit, stage left.
Hey, if you got a game this weekend, happy gaming, y'all. I pray it is an RPG Elite session. I got another gaming session this week. It's my regular One Ring session. Next week, I'll get the week off from a game, maybe. I don't know, y'all. I just gotta get out of here and say, peace, 5,000 leaks. I am outie.